Hi everybody, it's Phil here from Telford Koi Pond. Slightly different video this time. I'm just going to walk you through what I've done with my holding tank that I used to have in the garage that I overwintered the fish in that are now in the big pond. So basically this is it. Just to anybody new, I'll just run you through it. The tank itself is an eBay special. Local company, I say local, sort of Albury, Birmingham I think it was. They produced these themselves, these GRP tubs for lots of different uses. This one is roughly 121 centimetres. These are the internal dimensions, by 82 centimetres by 75 centimetres. So that works out to just over 150 gallons or 700 and something litres, which is more than enough for a small quarantine tank or a holding on tank or something like that. So this used to be set up in the garage. It was set up with a lot of the same equipment, but it was set up slightly differently in terms of I had the filter standing at the head of the tank, and obviously it took up that much more room. So because I've decided to put this out into the garden, I'm trying to get as small a footprint as possible. So some offcuts of wood from building the pergola, just built a stand which the filter now sits on. So the filter itself is a clear pond. I think it's an 1800. I can't quite remember if I'm honest with you. And the writing, oh, it's a clear pond 18. So I think it's meant for ponds up to 2,000 gallons, if you can believe that. But obviously I wouldn't suggest that at all. But anyway, so it might be over filtered, but it's a quarantine tank, so it's going to take some knocks with the bacteria. So I filled it up with water this morning, treated it and everything, ready for some new fish, which hopefully I'm going to start looking at this weekend. So the filter itself, quite good. And as I say, it served me well over the winter. As you can see, hopefully, there's actually 3 stages or 4 stages. So the water is sucked up from the bottom. You probably won't be able to see it, but there's a very small Pondtech 1500 litres per hour pump. Sucks the water up. It just comes up the back of the pond here into the top section. The top section holds an 11 watt UV. It then comes out to the top section. Once it's been through the UV, there's a series of brushes. It then actually comes down, goes underneath the central chamber, and then it comes up through the 2 sponges you might just be able to see there. And once it comes up through the 2 sponges, it then comes through the holes in the side, down through 2 layers of foam. There's no biological media in there at the minute, because it's actually in my big Oasis filter, just to get it started, get it matured. But there will be biological ceramic stones in there. And then at the very bottom of this tube, at the bottom of here, it then comes up and then out and then through there. And because of where it is and what I'm trying to do with it, I've just put a rubber 90-degree boot on the end because I don't want the water splashing in there. It's aerated quite a lot as it goes through the system. And I've also got a small Pondtech air pump just at the back with 2 air stones on. And that's just creating some extra air, which I'll put up the corner here to help the flow. So the flow itself actually comes out the pond, it comes round here and then into the pump, which then sends it up and round, and so it's got quite a good flow. And the temperature at the moment, bear in mind I only filled this up recently, is just 16 degrees, which is sort of ambient temperature at the minute. I have got a 1 kilowatt heater, an electric inline heater, which I could put on this, but to be honest with you, the point of this will just be for me to quarantine some new fishing for sort of 3 or 4 weeks before putting them in the big pond. So I'll see how that goes at the minute. The big pond is not being heated, but it is standing at 18 degrees at the minute because of obviously it's a much bigger surface area and it's retained all the heat from the sun. But I'm quite pleased with it. The power supply, and again this is temporary, but the power supply is just an extension cable which is run all the way around the side of the garden from the main pond, and obviously the bits and pieces, the filter, the UV and the air pump are just plugged into it. And then we've got a bucket over the top which is weighed down just to make sure it stays waterproof. So really simple. I mean, the whole thing, bought new, probably cost less than sort of £300, which isn't bad really when you consider the price of these things. You can pay hundreds of pounds just for these. But I'm quite pleased with it, and if you watch my other videos, you'll see that the koi that were in it really thrived and grew, grew quite dramatically. So that's my setup. That's where I am. Plan is to go looking at fish this weekend coming. Hopefully we'll get them in there, and I'll have some fish to show you on the next video. So again, thank you very much for watching. Any comments, any thoughts, any suggestions, much appreciated. We'll just show you the cover just before anybody worries about it being uncovered. There is a cover